Good afternoon, everyone out there on the interwebs. My name is Jared, and this is my channel Mazda B3K. Today we're going to do a little bit of patchwork on the ragtop for my 1995 Miata. And without further ado, let's get started. So herein lies the problem. We've got a separation. This is not where something was removed, but if you look closely, it's separated. Plastic got weak over time and separated. We have a separation there we got to take care of. And then if you look here, you can see all the way to there. The zipper, this is supposed to be a zippered window. And you can see all the way to there that it has just failed. It's separated. So we have two jobs today. We have to patch up the window, and then we got to patch up this. Right along here. Got to figure out how to do that. So the first thing we're going to need to do is figure out exactly how this all folds whenever we fold the top down. Because what I want to do is glue this to this overhang, but I don't know that's going to interfere with how it closes. To address this right here, I'm just going to use tape. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of visibility, in the name of taping this up shingle style so that when water hits it, it's going to actually stay waterproof. And what I mean by shingle style is if you ever look at shingles on a roof, you'll see that they're overlaid a certain way. So we're going to start here at the bottom and then work our way up. And what will happen if we do it that way is when it rains, there will be no spot for the water to sneak under the tape and leak, providing that we tape off a large enough area. And I bought these little neodymium bar magnets to act like clamps, because when you look here, there's no way that you can really clamp this tight so that whatever glue you're going to use is going to cure and keep in contact. And I am using a pretty powerful glue, E6000, but you got to keep the two surfaces you're mating together for it to work right. So the idea is we're going to take one magnet, it'll go here, and then we'll put a magnet on the other underside. The magnets are going to want to attract and squish the fabric together, the canvas, so it'll work. But this is all presuming that when I fold this down, that we could glue this to this and it's not going to cause a problem. Some minor stuff that, again, I'm going to glue, and again with magnets. It may not happen today because I don't have a lot of magnets to go around. Is to fix this right here. And then there's some more over here. It's got to be glued up. It's initially stitched, but I do intend to replace this top. So I'm just going to glue it for now to repair it. So this, just when we get started, I want to say that this video is not the way to repair damage to your cloth top, to your rag top. This is how I am doing it on a budget. Just throwing that out there. I don't know, there's probably official repair kits. There's probably super official ways to do all these repairs so that it winds up good as new. I ain't doing that because I fully intend to replace this top. I'll probably spend a little bit more to make it so it's a glass window in the back, and I have defrost, and maybe even do a hard top or a nicer cloth top. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Also got a little bit of damage right here. It looks like, though, it's right above the rain guard. So even if water gets down there, I think what it does is it just goes in the rain guard, hits a series of drains that should be along the perimeter, and then just drains out and water doesn't get trapped. But I'm getting pretty tired of having to throw a blanket or a tarp over the back, wondering about the weather, and then when it is rainy or threatening rain like it is today, that I have to rush this thing inside and take up my repair bay. I don't know if I've ever done a full shot of my bays here, but backing out, I have 4. The tractor sits, that one over there, and I will do some videos on that. The Vandura sits there because it can't move right now, and it also has rust damage that's causing water issues. And then that's the other side of my shop right there. It's where I can work on stuff that's not directly in a car. And then this is the actual service bay for the vehicles. So I only have 1 bay at the moment. I intend to get a lift, and then I can do the lift trick where if I need to, I can lift the vehicle in the air and work on another one under it, kind of thing. But that's, you know, $5,000 down the road. So anyway, let's get to it. All right, I'm going to go halfway pop the top here real quick. And you guys watch this for me and see what the zippered window here does whenever we start folding things back. All right, got that popped loose. So what do we see, guys? If I pull this forward, kind of see what we're doing. So it looks like this outer layer here wants to fold in. Yeah, it's not happy unless it folds in. So let it fold in. Well, it's just not happy anyway. Let's take a look again. Oh, I just now noticed there's a big tear over there I gotta fix. Awesome. Alright, let's see. So let me look on the inside. Got you guys on the tripod at the moment, so really the more telling angle is right here. So you see the zipper, you see where we're torn, right? So here's what we look like as we're closing. But as we're closing the top. And as we're opening the top, we're folding back. I think we will be A-okay to attach those two. Let me go ahead and fold this back out. I wanted to show you, I just noticed that right there as well. So, yay, more to fix. But it looks like we're going to be able to do the repair I want to do. So we're going to tackle this first, because to me this is actually a little bit easier of the 2 repairs. Now, next step, put you guys back on the tripod, is we need to see, will the magnets have enough magnetic force to do what I want them to do? I think they will. These are pretty strong magnets. Like I said, they're neodymium. Got them on Amazon. Not super expensive, but they're brittle. So, excuse me. They are brittle, so when you pull them apart, You have to kind of slide them. And whatever you do, don't stick them to something big and metal unless you got an easy way to take them apart. So let's see what we get. Will these do what I need them to do? Let's see. So if I spin these like this, I'd say yeah. We're definitely going to have to go slow if I want to lay down a solid bead of glue through here. But yeah, that should work. So we're going to go ahead and prep the tape area to be retaped. And I also intend to tape it from the outside and the inside. But before we do that, we got to prep it. And by that, I mean, if you want, I'm using, this is Gorilla Tape, but it's in the same family as duct tape, meaning it's a vinyl back tape. And it really doesn't matter what kind of tape you use. Tape sticks to things that are clean a whole lot better than it sticks to things that are dirty. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take shop towels. And I have here a nice bottle of 70% isopropyl. And we're just going to do a little dab-a-doo. And clean up. Oh yeah. Clean up our taping surface. As you can see, it's a light bit dirty. Also a good time for me to see just how bad this plastic is. So I intend to make another video where we're actually going to restore the plastic, make it see-through again. You can do that. Like I said, it's going to be a while before I get around to replacing this top. And I will probably let a shop do it. But for now, I would very much like get this thing watertight. That is... Yeah, still pretty oxidized though. We'll give that alcohol a moment to dry, and then we'll go ahead and start laying down tape. All right, our alcohol has dried, so we're going to go ahead and get started with taping. Now this is not ideal. This is a really fat tape, but this is what I have. And as Mortsky likes to say, we don't do it on the cheap. We are going to lose the shop. That is for sure. So we're going to do it on the cheap. So I'm going to kind of rough out how long I want this to be. I'll probably run this one all the way across. And I'll put it about halfway down, so about like that. And then let gravity be my friend here. I'll go ahead. Make my cut. And we're going to lay it down about like this, because I want plenty of overlap. I'm going to get the bottom of this stuck in first, because I'm going to have to reach around. I don't know if my arms are long enough. No, they're not. So, how do I want to do that? So we're going to need a weight. Here's a weight. Yeah, it's not wanting to stick so well. Let's see if I can do something now. Well, that's good to see. Kind of lets me know what it's going to do when it folds. What I'm seeing is that when it folds, it's going to want to try to come out. Oh yeah, it's not wanting to stick to edges of this at all. Definitely going to have to layer it. Alright, I'm going to set this up as a montage sequence. So I'm going to quit yapping, and I'm just going to go ahead and work on taping this. Alrighty, so I'm going to call that temporarily fixed. Now, we need to think about what are we going to do up there. Now, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up, so I'm going to bring you guys back outside. Hang on. I know the camera's going to pick that up because the sun's going down where I'm at in the world. So I'll bring you back to look at this. So I had a thought. And the thought was, what if we laid down our glue, our E6000, and then we used a piece of tape on the inside to help hold stuff in place till we were done. I don't know if it's a good thought. It's a thought. I also was taking a look at how these magnets are going to need to be laid out. Basically, I have to do 1, 2, probably 3. You can see the damage that goes all the way over there. But I have 4 more magnets, so I can do this in 3 places. That's it. And then we're done. Alright. Now, a couple of things about E6000 here. This stuff is like shoe glue, if you've ever used it. It's a contact glue. It takes about a day for it to set properly. And it is pretty nasty stuff. So when you go to use it, you're going to want to have a spot to put the tube down. So I'll normally get a plate, or I can't see it, but I'll get a plate, something that I'll set the tube down on, because it'll kind of ooze once you have the cap off and you put pressure on it. It's going to sit there and ooze, so you don't want that to get all over stuff. So you put something down. Now when it's still wet, it wipes up pretty easy. But as it begins to dry, it gets just about impossible to remove. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Let me pull my magnets out of the way. Let me swing this over so you guys can see. Straighten this out. There, you guys feel better? I'm sure that some OCD person out there feels better now, because the camera was crooked. Alright, so we're going to get the magnets out of the way. There we go. And notice I am resisting putting them anywhere there's metal on the car because it'll be a ginormous pain in the butt to try to pull them away. So what I found is in order to make this work, I'm going to have to lay the glue right along the edge to make it work. Got just enough overlap that this might actually do what it's supposed to do. Alright, let's see how well she comes out. I don't have any nozzle tips for this. Normally I use like a zip tie or something to act as an applicator, but I want to lay down a thicker bead, so oh yes. Alright, I already see where we're going to have some problems here. So I may just do something like that. I'm going to get this cleaned up first, because I do not want glue on the plastic. So as I said, this stuff, it'll come up when it's wet. You first lay it out. So I've mostly got it up. I got it off the plastic, which is the main thing I was aiming for. So we're gonna, I cannot get it in here. Yeah, this stuff's not as thick as I want it to be. So I think what we'll do with it misbehaving like that, we're just going to leave it like that. I'm going to go in on the inside because you can see a bit better how this needs to be stuck together on the inside. Okay, so that's one. See that most of this glue didn't get to where I needed it to go, so I'm going to try to apply it from the inside without making an unholy mess. Peel the other two magnets off. See what we get. It's not horrible. Yeah, glue didn't really get where I wanted it to go. So I just had another thought. What if, oh dear, glue on the magnet. That's not good. Yeah, I'm thinking that piece of tape would have been a pretty good idea by now. You gotta pull it up. Doesn't want to stay pulled up. Yeah, that's not where I need it to be. Okay, I am out of magnets, and this is sort of working. It's definitely not working the way I thought it would, but I'm gonna have to leave it like that until this dries, and then I will have to come back and glue the other spots that I'll actually have access to once this is all dry. So I will bring you guys back when we get that done. Probably tomorrow. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been a couple of weeks since I last worked on this particular video. And what I wanted to report is, even though I haven't quite finished what I want to do, as you can see, we have still a little bit of gap. I can put my finger in right there. This is watertight. This is working. And I'm happy to report that water no longer intrudes in the Miata. The tape is holding so far. Having kind of a shingled setup is working out okay, because there's actually a piece of tape under that, which is why that's working. And I can even fold the top down, and that folds pretty nicely because it's a vinyl back tape, and put it back up. And this glue is holding. Like I said, I do need to glue it a little more. Got some gap right there, and there's some gap right here I need to fix. But it's working. And what I also found on the inside was that this here, I did glue that back together using my magnets that I talked about earlier. What I found was that it's not really permitting water in. See, that side I have not fixed, and this sat under heavy rainstorms for many days. So we had a bunch of wet weather here, and it's dry. It is absolutely dry, which I'm very pleased. I will eventually close that up and close that up, and I will fix this, and I'll fix that and a couple other things, but there's a limit to what I'm going to fix, because ultimately I am replacing this top. And I'll probably try to do it myself, but that's another project for another day. I also did have to replace one other thing, because I fixed the leaks in the cabin, but then I was noticing I still had water here in the trunk, and I had water coming in here in the trunk. So I made a guess and thought it was the taillights, and it turns out that yes, there are gaskets behind these taillights. And I did replace them. That is another video that will be coming out in a few weeks. But I replaced them, sat in through some more heavy rain showers, and no more water in the trunk. And there you have it. That has completely solved the water intrusion issues that I was having. Fixing the gas cap actually was part of that, because the old gas cap was too tall, couldn't close it. So this couldn't seal, keep water out. So once again, we're high and dry, which is what I'm happy about. One thing to keep note, if you're still getting water in the trunk and you replace the taillight seals and you're still getting it, there's also a seal behind the third brake light. And if these seals are toast, this one's probably toast as well. So I will most likely make a video about replacing that eventually. Right now it seems to be okay, but I'll have to fix it eventually. Alright guys, that is going to do it for my soft top repair video on my 1995 Mazda MX-5. Please leave me some comments. What did you like? What do you got questions about? Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, I make mistakes so you don't have to. I'll catch you guys next episode.